Namaste, everyone. All these special guest, differently record holder, climbers, and the organizers to have me here. This is me, Dawa Tashi Sherpa from Everest region, where the Mount Everest located. I put the title Rising from the Avalanche because as you know, some add I am the sole survival of Mount Everest, Everest Avalanche 2014. So I will start a bit from my background. This is my hometown, which is Mapedutkoshi. I was born in 1991, and which is 2,500 meters above the sea level. And in my village, there's only 10-15 houses. That's why there's only primary level school. So I have to walk about 3 hours to go another village to get the higher educations. My parents were a farmer, and then I am the alone from my hometown to go another village by crossing 3 hours in the big forest area to go to get the higher educations. I feel so difficult. Then I escape and start work as a porter into the tourism industry. I started the journey age of 11, being porter into the Khumbu regions, the Everest regions. So those who have been in Nepal, who have been traveled towards to the Everest base camp, all knows how the difficulties are in that time. So after that, I saw the people are doing more fun, or guidings, talking with the more clients, and the carrying small backpack by themselves and connected with the clients more. While that times I am carrying a heavy load of the clients' big duffel bags, tying them together and walking me alone or with someone else. And I was like, how can I go there? And then I found that guiding like this into the Himalayas, and then took some courses, multiple courses, and then able to guide different countries' people up in a summit of 5,000, 6,000 meters continually. And since 2008, I've been able to guide different countries' peoples up to Mount Everest. So I use these pictures because that times I have a very big challenges because of my client condition was not good. That's why I have very, very limited time, just need to go back. That's why I didn't pay attention to take out all these marks and goggles. So I didn't get the certificate from my government. But I still use these pictures because it's my first time I achieved in my life. So once we talk about the climbing Everest, and we are talking about earliest panelists talk about the climate change, and then so that recently Wongmu talk about the crossing ladders throughout the Khumbu ice. For all these things, we know how many of you been there, see the Khumbu icefall in the distance, and also many climbers already passed through this. This is normal. It's moving. Sometimes it's very wider crevasses, sometimes it's narrow, but it's every year all these climbers has to pass through like this. There is lots of ladders. You can see there's traffics, and you never know when this block of ice will collapse. You never know what time will be. Once we were talking about the sun, cold, all of this. It was very sunny day because if the ice melt heat, it's gonna be collapse. Or there's a very cold night. It's because of the cold wind make the separations of the ice and collapse. So we never know what's gonna happen in the mountains. Likewise, the panelists about the climate change, we have to listen to the nature. Once we listen to the nature, we can do adventure. So I don't know how many of you feel that. We all say we are the climbers, we summited Everest, but we do differently. Most of the summiters, they summit Mount Everest by carrying their waters and some there's extra layers things. But what we do is, of course, as a profession, we carry this kind of heavy load to make that dream come true, to get on top of Everest by crossing these risky ladders and icefall. So there is a very high chances of get injured because of heavy load. You can't go faster because you have a heavy load. See, recently Ongmo explained that you can feel the pictures here. We carry the big loads by crossing this, but because of the long ladders, somewhat big, even I salute Ongmo, that's how she crossed, I don't know. But all these climbers, maximum they do like this without backpacks and scrolling on it. So we have to salute this kind of persons who did. Now I move into 2014, which changed my life. This is a Khumbu icefall. You can see, and you can see the truss light that's people walking through there. This is the Lola Mountains, and there is the hanging ice. And the hanging ice is like, especially we talk about the avalanche, but is Serak Fall. That's a huge Serak Fall. We are early morning. It's very normal. We are guiding. We are taking the many equipments. We are going up to Camp 2 to set up the camp. We start from base camp at 12:30, and we just keep walking throughout the Khumbu icefall, and randomly we got a message that there's one ladder has been broke because of the moving ice. And then we discussed, oh, maybe we go back. And no, someone says, no, we continue. And then we just keep discussing. And then a few minutes later, there's, oh yeah, there's someone's fixed the ladder. And we just keep walking through the height. And then suddenly, once we reach to the point where this ladder was broke. When I reached there, there's over 70 people trafficking there because of the ladder. And then they are waiting for a chance to cross. And then I said, okay, we just came here. We got to put some cream on it, drink some water, and let them go because they get cold. Because they have been stuck here 40 minutes. So let them go. And then we all agreed randomly. And we put the sunscreen, everything. So we are randomly 13 people together. And we are supposed to cross the ladder. There's one guy in front of me, and then the rest of the people behind me. We just randomly supposed to cross the ladder. And then the guy in front of me, he's just unclipped from that line and is clipped into the another rope to cross the ladder. And we just hear that big sound like boom, there's something blast out. We just say nothing. We don't have any words, and we look at that, and then we can't see higher up. We just see this kind of it's like a cloud moving towards you. That's it. And then just sit one step back, and then just we sat there all together. During that times, I didn't feel anything, but what I thought is like, okay, if I broke my ribs, the backbone, I may get paralyzed, or I'm gonna die. That's why I said, okay, I will face this side. And then I said like this. I don't know how the other people said. The one guy who is in front, he's in front of me. My tent partner is next to me. And then the rest of all these guys are behind me. So, suddenly this ice avalanche hit at us. And I feel that I was dragging down. I said like this. There is a big ice wall. And this side is the crevasses. The three body is still missing into the crevasse now because they took 16 life, which is the biggest avalanche in the world, I think, so far. So then because of the rope, I just clipped it, and then the avalanche twisted me, and then dragged about 5-10 meters away from above the other bodies, and I was found like this, facing towards to the Everest base camp, and I feel like once I become conscious, I saw very blurry legs far away. I said, "Oh, someone's here." I just tried to dig it out by my right hand, and I found my left leg by myself, and it was completely bleeding from head and mouth, and then I just keep throwing the ice, and it's but big areas covered as far as I can throw the ice is completely red. And I tried to stand up because I half buried. I tried to stand up, but I couldn't because my hand is stuck inside. That's how I broke my shoulders. And I tried to dig it by myself and then stick it out. And then I lost my gloves there. And then because of the different training courses, I know some ideas. And I put my hands onto my armpit to keep it warm. But I tried to stand up, but because of my safety rope, it's 2 meters deep. And then we're supposed to go this way to go to Everest Camp 2. Because of the avalanche, the other people comes from the other side, and then I heard someone is coming. And the helicopters keep running, and I was so angry because, why they are not picking me up? Why? And there's some people are coming, and then the idea, I don't know who is coming, who are the rescuer. In other developed countries, there is a proper rescuer team, but we don't have. So those who rescued me is my fellow climbers who passed through the avalanche zone before. And, there's someone, just pull it out. I said, don't. Dig at the ice and cut the rope first. And then this is how they drag me out. And then if the rescuer couldn't find me, then 13 body will not recover like the other 3 body. Because once they took me out, they saw someone's hand. Another body. And then they take out that body. Once they're able to dig out half a body, and there's another legs, another body. So this is how it comes out. And then, you see, all came out like this, wrapping in a trap. And I become rescued by throwing ropes by the long line rescue. I've been hospitalized. Grande Hospital, posted in newspaper everywhere. And the very heart-touching part for me is that during that times, my wife is pregnant. She is pregnant 5 months. So it's very hard to tell all this emotional point, because she went to the hospital for regular checkup for herself, the pregnancy checkup, and all these other people of my friends already know about the accident and keep calling my wife. So, where are you? Where are you? And she says, I'm in the hospital. And then they all understand that she knows the news. But she's not. I'm in a different hospital. So this is how to say, this is how it's happened. So she had to take care of me the early day before she gave the birth of my first child. So why I'm guiding, so still I'm doing all these things, and I thought once everyone's in the same place, they pass their life, and then I'm alive, I keep asking myself why I'm alive, why I'm here, why not others? And then I thought, okay, the conclusion that I got is that I have to do something in the community. I have to do for the mountaineering communities. That's where I'm still guiding, still working in the mountains. Most of the people says, did you go back to the Mount Everest again? And I say, yes, I've been back in Mount Everest again in 2021. Because one thing is like, once I already explained, I start working as a porter since age of 11. By stop my education. That means long gap. If I change my professions, it takes a while to grow up in this place. Another thing is I have my passion to work in the mountains. And of course, if I change my professions, how can I motivate you guys, motivate the youth coming leaders and mountaineers into the mountain, because there's millions of people are afraid to come their backyard. Just come out your comfort zones and feel the nature, feel the adventure. This is how I keep continuing guiding. I train people since 2015, all these Nepalese leaders to become professional mountain leaders. And while I'm saying this, since I'm the Nepal's first internationally certifying mountain leaders by guidings, by teachings. So, beside that, once I asked myself why I started the clothing brand in Nepal, made in Nepal. It's called Dawa Gear. So, every year, some of the percentage I donate to the differently able peoples that's organized by different orphanages to keep them warm. And this year, in 2025 May, I launched a book called Sherpa. Many people push me, oh, write a book, because of your accident, that will be very popular. In that times, when I'm not prepared. And later I decide, oh, maybe I write a book. And that times everyone says, it's too late, no one will buy your book, no one will read your book. And says, come on, I have to write a book to tell the truth, because if you check the newspaper, it says, rope fixing team got avalanche. I am not a rope fixing team. So they are trying to make the separations. Fixing team is different, and then the guiding crew is different. Those who climb Everest, they know. So that's where I have to tell the truth. That's why I wrote the book. And then many people ask, why Sherpa? Because of your origin, Sherpa? Yeah. Of course, I believe I am proud of being Sherpa, but Sherpa in that sense is I'm ethnic Sherpa. At the same time, all of you says, oh, my Sherpa, my Sherpa. Sherpa is kind of give and take, who work in the mountain as an assistant guide or leading in the mountains. Since a long time back, our respected climbers, Tenzing Norgay Sherpa, once he climbed Everest, since that we got the tag, say Sherpa. That's why I launched this book. And then from that each sales, I also announced that 30% of the incomes or sellings go to the community for education and cultural supports to keep the standards, keep everyone's happy. Let's work together and we can keep the mountain and enjoy the mountain. Thank you.